Mantras have often been used by weebs in order to describe which features they personally enjoy on their waifus. A perfect example of this is the phrase "flat is justice," which I previously explored in a separate video and determined that it was in fact scientifically accurate. However, that is not the only phrase of this kind. Today, we will be looking at whether the term medium is premium can actually be proven to be factually correct. Now, in order to do this, I first had to understand exactly what the definition of the word premium was. So, naturally what I did was, I went to Google and attempted to figure out which definition of premium was actually being used here. However, there is actually several different definitions of premium. In fact, nobody seems to be able to agree on which one is the correct one. And so, we are going to have to go through each of these definitions individually in order to figure out whether medium can in fact be considered premium. As long as this statement is true for at least one of these definitions, then we can say that the statement is factually correct. So, for the first definition, we have an amount to be paid for an insurance policy. Now, perhaps my experience has differed from other people's. However, I do not believe that medium-sized anime titties is in fact actually an accepted form of payment for any insurance policy. As a result of this, I do believe that we can count this definition out. Next up, we have a sum added to an ordinary price or charge. Now, I don't believe that this definition is going to be much help to us either. It would be pretty bizarre if, while you were attempting to buy some kind of product that you needed, the vendor, in fact, also asked you to provide some average anime titties in addition to your money. I don't believe that that would fly, and I don't believe that this definition is for us. We also have a sum added to interest or wages, a bonus. Now, this one could actually help us out at least a little bit. I could certainly see anime titties being used as a form of payment. However, with the way that this is worded, it implies that this bonus would be added to your paycheck or to a loan that you've taken out from a bank, and that would certainly be an interesting experience to say the least. However, that is not really how the world works, and thus I think that we can count out this definition. Next up, we have relating to or denoting a commodity or product of superior quality and therefore a higher price. Now, this definition does in fact seem to support our argument. However, it is difficult to say as an objective fact that medium is in fact of superior quality, as it is an inherently subjective argument to make. Not to mention the fact that the vast majority of medium anime titties do not in fact command any price at all. Overall, I'm going to say that we cannot use this definition. We've also got the amount by which the price of a share or other security exceeds its issue price, its nominal value, or the value of the assets it represents. Now, while I would in fact love there to be a marketplace where we could share all of our images and trade them with each other of our collections of anime titties, the fact of the matter is that this simply does not exist. I know. It's very sad, and I too wish that this was a reality. However, it is unfortunately not, and thus we cannot use this definition. Now, for our last definition of premium, we have something given as a reward, prize, or incentive. Now, believe it or not, I think we might have actually found the definition that we were looking for all along. Unlike our previous definition that showed promise, this one does not try to claim that anything is objective. Rather, it simply states that medium anime titties could in fact be used as a reward or incentive, assuming that the person that the reward is being offered to wants the medium anime titties. And thus, assuming that this is the definition that we use for premium, it's pretty impossible to say that medium isn't premium. And thus, through the use of arbitrary semantics, we have finally determined that medium is in fact premium, and anyone that says otherwise is simply wrong.